Welcome to a new episode of Rich and Raw. Get ready for powerful insights and real strategies to elevate your wealth and impact fast. It's time to get Esther-sized. Let's go.
I thought that's such a sweet thing to say, because it's beautiful. The realtor came yesterday. So we're talking about my house. Welcome, everybody. We're on chapter 15 of The Science of Getting Rich, which I realize that we talk so slow, or at least I do anyway. They can always play it at two point whatever, like I do, Jordan Peterson.
Yep.
But the thing is you got to try to digest it. Don't just hear it. Mike, my friend Mike, he says, Audible, you don't integrate with Audible. He says you need to have a book, sit down and read it.
Focus on it.
Yeah.
Focus on it.
Now I think, there's different learning types, and I'm an auditory learner, but if I see it and hear it, it's way better, which is why I love you reading. You've done such a good job, Megan, by the way.
Well, it's great to have a reason to sit down and actually read it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chapter 15, The Advancing Man. Can I just say real quick?
Yeah, please.
The reading groups that want to change the term man to woman or to all people, right? I just think it's interesting because a lot of times I think it's really valuable to preserve that, because I think the male voice is a unique voice. And to acknowledge that the author of this is a man and writings from a male perspective, it helps me soften and have fluidity with the parts that don't quite. It just gives me another lens to evaluate. Like, well, maybe that's not actually thoroughly consistent because I'm not in a male body.
Right. Interesting.
I like that. Yeah.
Reframe it.
Yeah. What I have said in the last chapter applies as well to the professional man and the wage earner as to the man who is engaged in mercantile business. That right there, especially with a mom with a young child, like that's a whole other archetype for me to put myself into right now.
Yeah. Okay.
No matter whether you are a physician, a teacher, or a clergyman, if you can give increase of life to others and make them sensible of the fact, they will be attracted to you and you will get rich.
Read that again. I spaced out completely.
No matter whether you are a physician, a teacher, or a clergyman, if you can give increase of life to others and make them sensible of the fact, they will be attracted to you and you will get rich. So
increase life of others. They will be attracted to you and you will get rich. So the focus is on helping other people in their life. I love doing that. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, I had this May festival. It's the 5th year. We've had 12, 15 families come, and all of them every year, they're like, wow, wow, wow. So I'm adding it, and they keep coming and they keep bringing people that they know, and it keeps growing.
Right. I bet he's going to talk about being consistent next. You watch.
The physician who holds the vision of himself as a great and successful healer and who works toward the complete realization of that vision with faith and purpose, as described in former chapters, will come into such close touch with the source of life that he will be phenomenally successful. Patients will come to him in throngs.
Here it is.
That's what we're working on. That's what we're working to get to.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one has a greater opportunity to carry into effect the teaching of this book than the practitioner of medicine. It does not matter to which of the various schools he may belong, for the principle of healing is common to all of them and may be reached by all alike. Don't you think it's interesting that he's talking about medicine as a healing practice 100 years ago?
Yes, healing practice. Interesting.
And do you feel like there's maybe something that shifted in the world of medicine about the increase of life in it?
Do I think that?
Yeah. Just points to consider, Dr. Porter.
Actually, you're making a really good point, because if you look at what happened to the intention and how many doctors are dismayed, and I actually asked Dr. Porter how he feels about being called a doctor. And he says, I have mixed feelings about it. And I was like, tell me, and I was like, whoa, because here you work your butt off, right? and it's not just the time and the money, it's how much you sacrifice in all your relationships and in your focus and everything. And then to find out that basically the industry has been kidnapped by special interest groups that really are I think, abusing a confusion that we
Everything
all
has been
have.
built before them. Yeah.
And abusing the confusion that we cause what we are dealing with, right? The old time doctors would just lay it right out. Listen, you're fat, you eat too much, you need to do this, you need to do that. Even if what they said wasn't completely accurate, it was coming from the responsibility that that's your choice.
Just
And
look at the food supply though, too,
yeah,
though.
yeah, and
Right.
I don't experience that when I talk to people when they've gone to most doctors, there's not those conversations. They're either meeting with the PA, physician's
Mhm.
assistant, or the nurse or whatever, and sometimes they get more from them than they
Mhm.
do the doctor, and the doctor's 100% effects management, symptomatic treatment,
Sell the
drug
pharmaceutical.
oriented for sure, and not
Yeah.
like healing. My hair looks like a lion. Sorry, everybody. Okay, go ahead. I don't care.
No one has a greater opportunity to carry into effect the teaching of this book than the practitioner of medicine. Maybe he was seeing this coming when he wrote this. It does not matter to which of the various schools he may belong, for the principle of healing is common to all of them and may be reached by all alike. So even if you feel like you don't have the opportunity, you do have it.
Well, Lee Harris, his most recent energy update and also focus is on the word healer. And he had a huge explanation. So this is, what month is this? May 2025. And his entire month is focused on everybody's a healer in some way. And even if you don't use the instruments like what they're talking about, we all engage with each other in a way that is healing. We are healed by community.
And
And
abundance.
it doesn't happen by itself. And of course, on Monday, Sovereign Way, we talked about the same thing. You
Right.
can't expand in who you are unless you're in communion with
Yeah.
God. That's when they talk about
Right.
where everyone's gathered, whatever that.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm recording Jagger. No. The advancing man in medicine who holds to a clear mental image of himself as successful and who obeys the laws of faith, purpose, and gratitude will cure every curable case he undertakes, no matter what remedies he may use.
Okay,
In the
read the
field
beginning
of
of that. That's super powerful. I'm sorry, that's so important.
the advancing man in medicine who holds to a
Advancing man.
clear mental image of himself as successful and who obeys the laws of faith, purpose, and gratitude will cure every curable case he undertakes, no matter what remedies he may use.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. Isn't that funny? We're talking about Dr. Porter too. I'm going to tell him, chapter 15. You got to read this.
In the field of religion, the world cries out for the clergyman who can teach his hearers the true science of abundant life. He who masters the details of the science of getting rich together with the allied sciences of being well, of being great, and of winning love, and who teaches these details from the pulpit will never lack for a congregation. This is the gospel that the world needs. It will give increase of life, and men will hear it gladly and will give liberal support to the man who brings it to them.
Wow.
What is now needed is a demonstration of the science of life from the pulpit. We want preachers who can not only tell us how, but who in their own persons will show us how. We need the preacher who will himself be rich, healthy, great, and beloved to teach us how to attain these things. And when he comes, he will find a numerous and loyal following.
You got to be what you preach, man.
Yeah, lead by example.
Mm.
And if you read the whole book, right, you can come to terms with the whole
Right.
servitude and poverty.
Right. And it doesn't matter where you are. Like sometimes when I listen to this, I see where I'm failing and it feels bad. But I think that's a good thing because you can't change the value set that you're currently running if you don't have a negative, visceral feeling of the one that you don't want to run.
To motivate you.
Yeah, it's kind of a gift. It's a gift. Like I think in general, our culture just wants everything to feel good, right? But if everything feels good, you don't even know what you're doing or where you're going. You got to have that duality of the negative experience, like feel the depth of the sadness of like, God, I am seriously failing at that, right? So that I know what I can calibrate to. So back to what I started to say, it's not where you're at that matters. It's where you want to go. That's what the whole intent is of personal growth. And I feel like I failed at that at times where I've judged and I've judged myself and I felt like I should have already achieved. And since we've been doing the sovereign way, I feel completely different. I'm exactly where I need to be. And the more I accept where I'm at, the easier it is to be the certain way or to expand because it's not just about me, right? We're part of this whole master architect that is creating. And a lot of times I've been upset because I was like, wow, with as hard as I've worked, what the, I should be way whatever, right? I should have way whatever. But I'm negating what it is I've gotten in my faith, in my walk, in my communion,
Your spirit.
my spirit, like my devotion, to God. And like that, I'm so arrogant, there's no way that would have happened otherwise. Prune, prune, prune.
Well, knowing you has helped me identify or be aware of the entitlement that we have when things aren't just the good way should be simple and direct. And it's not simple and direct, and it doesn't already exist.
Yeah. Oh, and we're shit. If you do good things are going to happen. Yeah, no, bullshit. Bad shit happens when you're really good. And when you really push on it, you're really considered a disruptor. And if you're a disruptor, you're going to experience living in a storm. It's just not going to be like, okay,
Well, and there's being able to be the disruptor without the arrogance. That's where I'm at right now, where I recognize where I was being a disruptor and I was very proud of that. But my arrogance and wanting to be the disruptor was the thing
That's
that
the
was
problem.
nailing me.
Right.
Right. Right.
Right. And I think in the last 10 years, we've all been hammered on that one. The light workers. Hammer, hammer, hammer. Bad, bad, bad. Like, I'm doing all this good. What's the matter?
Right. We're all in it
Yeah.
together.
I'm
Right. The same is true of the teacher who can inspire the children with the faith and purpose of the advancing life. He will never be out of a job. And any teacher who has this faith and purpose can give it to his pupils. He cannot help giving it to them if it is part of his own life and practice. That's really why I think my husband's been in his position for the time that he has, because that's what he's doing. He's always telling me about these young kids that come in and how he's just like interacting with them and getting them to step up. Like he's telling me
so
that the story about,
encouraging that way.
right, exactly.
Like
Like
every
finding
conversation, you walk away from Kevin, you feel like, oh, I'm not that bad. I can get better. Okay, cool.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, that's awesome, Megan.
What is true of the teacher, preacher, and physician is true of the lawyer, dentist, real estate man, insurance agent, of everybody.
Even insurance. Looky there.
The combined mental and personal action I have described is infallible. It cannot fail. Every man and woman who follows these instructions steadily, perseveringly, and to the letter will get rich. Well, that's what we're doing. We're steadily and perseveringly finishing this off.
Yeah.
The law of the increase of life is as mathematically certain in its operation as the law of gravity. Getting rich is an exact science. The wage earner will find this as true of his case as of any of the others mentioned. Do not feel that you have no chance to get rich because you are working where there is no visible opportunity for advancement, where wages are small and the cost of living high. Form your clear mental vision of what you want and begin to act with faith and purpose. Do all the work you can do every day and do each piece of work in a perfectly successful manner. Put the power of success and the purpose to get rich into everything that you do. But do not do this merely with the idea of currying favor with your employer in the hope that he or those above you will see your good work and advance you. It is not likely that they will do so. The man who is merely a good workman, filling his place to the very best of his ability and satisfied with that, is valuable to his employer, and it is not the employer's interest to promote him. He is worth more where he is.
Whoa.
That is, I've been firsthand example of that.
Whoa, that's powerful, Megan. And here we condemn all the slave thing like it's bad for, am I understanding this correctly?
Yeah. Well, it's your responsibility to see my value and put me in a better position. I abnegate all responsibility for the discomfort I got to step into to create that place for myself.
Wow. You know what? The millionaires I know that are, I would consider not addicts and well adjusted, they get that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sustainable, like billionaires, especially, unless they just came about it like they understand that you can't just give and give and give and give to somebody. You actually stealing from them what it is that they need to transform. And here's the thing, I feel the same way about like super weird global whatever. Like everybody's starving over there. Okay, well, let's just save them all. No, that's not going to work. And it's in the Bible too. And I don't mean to sound arrogant about it. It doesn't mean I don't care and feel sad when I look at those pictures of little babies with their tummies sticking out. You know what I mean? It's like super sad. But just throwing money at it, which alleviates you feeling any responsibility or whatever. Oh, I did my thing. No.
It's also the arrogance, right? Like if you can look in and spend your time and dwell with people that are worse off than yourself, it gives you more comfort, and you don't have to, you can avoid your own areas where you're stuck and limited and
Right.
where you're the one that's not.
Right.
And that's part of my problem with working in charitable organizations is it develops this whole like, oh, we're going to help all those less fortunates because we're in a place that we can help them, and meanwhile they just stay at the same level and everybody under them stays at their level
Right.
ultimately.
Right. That's so interesting, right? If you just try on how that feels to take responsibility for being willing to see what's going on that's bad, feel the pain of it, and feel the compassion that that person needs that lesson at some level. You might be able to help them a little bit, but you aren't really helping them if you take all of that struggle away. I think that's what he just said. They're
That's right.
better off if they have that because you take them out of it. Whoa, could be worse.
Well, that's the thing you sent me this morning about parenting, right? You got to let your kids figure stuff out, because if you're
Oh my
trying to
God,
solve their
you're so
problems
good
for
with
them,
that.
it's because you're trying to feel better about yourself.
Yeah,
And it robs them of an opportunity for them to figure it out so that they can feel good about themselves and their
yeah,
capacity.
yeah. And that video is way different than the one that we saw recently where they were wondering if it was all AI. Did you see the one from China? And all these kids were like doing all these things. And it looked like it was AI generated because the kids were so efficient. They weren't like fumbling with anything. And they were making like all kinds of different foods and crafts and like robotically claiming the same thing. I don't think so. You got to be careful what you're looking at.
And it could be a cultural difference too, right?
Yeah, well, I definitely think they're more efficient than we are. But you saw those are all little white towhead Midwesterners in that last video, making a mess. I sent it to all my kids. I was like, "Oh my God, this looks like you guys," except the chore chart was way more organized. I'll post that below so you guys can look at what we're referencing.
To secure advancement, something more is necessary than to be too large for your place. To secure advancement, something more is necessary than to be too large for your place. The man who is certain to advance is the one who is too big for his place, who has a clear concept of what he wants to be, who knows that he can become what he wants to be, and who is determined to be what he wants to be. That feels good.
Oh, I got the chills.
Do not try to more than fill your present place with a view to pleasing your employer. Do it with the idea of advancing yourself.
There you
Hold
go.
faith.
You know what that means? You might have to leave your job and they won't like it. If you know that you're ready to move into something better, don't be afraid.
And that's where I think I get tricked up with the arrogance, right? Like I'm like, oh, well, I think I'm too big for this. I think I'm better than where I'm at.
Yeah, how do you tell the
And
difference?
right. But if you're advancing yourself, you got to be uncomfortable with that. And
Yeah,
you got to not be attached to what you already
yeah,
have in the security of your current position. You got to be willing to let go of all of that and everything that everyone else thinks of you. If
right.
you have a vision for what you want, that's enough.
I actually think that's how you can tell is both decisions feel painful, but the painful one that you know will develop you. Oh, I hate that I'm saying this right now. Is the one that you're going to have to pick, right? Ooh, yuck. Right? So if I know I have issues around abundance, money, finances, whatever, And it's not like I'm living a rotten life. Life's pretty good. I built this house. I'm very happy in it. Blah, 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 blah. But if I don't have the level of wealth that I feel almost called, then that's the choice I need to make. I need to work on that. Otherwise,
Well, it's the level the work of the wealth so that you have the capacity to do the things that you feel called to do, which is bigger than you being happy right now.
Ooh, say that again, Megan. That was big. What did I just say? She says, yeah.
I know that was good, but I don't know what it was. Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, you have to have wealth to do what it is that you want to do.
Right.
And for you to
That's more
stay
important than you feeling
Yeah.
good right now. That's what you said.
Right. Right.
Awesome. I love you. You're awesome.
Do not try to more than fill your present place with a view to pleasing your employer, which is all about of someone else's standard. Do it with the idea of advancing yourself, which is about personal ownership and personal sovereignty. That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Hold the faith and purpose of increase during work hours, after work hours, and before work hours. Hold it in such a way that every person who comes in contact with you, whether foreman, fellow workman, or social acquaintance, will feel the power of purpose radiating from you so that everyone will get the sense of advancement and increase from you. That's why I got every job I've ever had, is because I was doing my other thing I wanted to do and they say, hey, come over and do this. And then I would get frustrated because they would want me to stay in that place. And I knew I needed to do something different and more, but I had to
They wanted you to stay in that place. Is that what you said?
well, they wanted me to stay at like this, like that was my job. They don't want me like disrupting and
I got this machine programmed. Why would I want to upgrade it?
Right.
Just let it do. I need you to produce what it is I want as a result. Yeah. That's the problem with most of the systems.
Men will be attracted to you, and if there is no possibility for advancement in your present job, you will very soon see an opportunity to take another job. There is a power which never fails to present opportunity to the advancing man who is moving in obedience to law.
Say that again.
There is a power which never fails to present opportunity to the advancing man who is moving in obedience to law.
Power. Wow. It's
God cannot helping you if you act in a certain way. He must do so in order to help himself.
On that one too.
There is a power which never fails to present opportunity to the advancing man who is moving in obedience to law. God cannot helping you if you act in a certain way. He must do so in order to help himself.
That I go back to the trees. If you look at how many helicopters are out there right now, those little things that the trees
spit out,
zillions from every tree. It can't help but plant another tree. There's just no way. So that level of abundance is there. It's here. It's evident everywhere. So why would we think that power is not there for us?
This is what Catherine Austin Fitts was talking about. She's like, there is a way, there's abundance for all. Yeah. We don't have a debt problem in our country. We have a government problem.
I love that.
Because government's all about scarcity and control and fear.
And blaming. Blaming you for what it is that we're experiencing. So keep yourself in a victim because you're a victim of this bigger thing that humans suck and none of us know how to do anything right?
We can save you from it.
And we can save you from it. Yeah. Wow. So not true.
There is nothing in your circumstances or in the industrial situation that can keep you down. If you cannot get rich working for the Steel Trust, you can get rich on a 10-acre farm. And if you begin to move in a certain way, you will certainly escape from the clutches of the Steel Trust and get onto the farm or whatever else you wish to be.
So apropos.
So apropos.
I have to get the farm. I will get the farm and I will be rich.
If a few thousand of its employees would enter upon the certain way, the Steel Trust would soon be in a bad plight. It would have to give its working men more opportunity or go out of business. Yeah. And that's how free market is supposed to be working.
Yeah, that's the
cutting each other off.
Of free enterprise. Yeah, and people use the abuse of the system as a justification for capitalism isn't bad. And you remember in ESP we explored, I don't remember, maybe you weren't in those trainings, but we explored fully socialism, communism, capitalism, and like really what they mean. And the truth is all of them are good if you have ethical people running them. right? Capitalism does have an advantage though, where it keeps exposed the stuff he's talking about in here that you need to experience in order for you to advance.
Well, it's a decentralization. It is all of those helicopters coming off the tree with capitalism. It's not a state authority trying to hold a
It's
form
an
for it.
internal one, right?
Yeah.
Where I get to decide how I'm going to make my money.
Yeah. And it allows every opportunity to have their own connection, their own access to the power and the spirit.
I'm going to plant myself over here, right? I was
Right.
digging in my garden yesterday, in my flower garden, and there was multiple trees growing underneath the rocks, like coming out underneath it. None out in the open. They were all like stuck in that corner and stressing themselves to get out and doing great. I felt like I need to plant these in a little pot, take them with me. And they're all maple trees. There's like 25 maple trees in my flower bed, baby maple trees. Now I feel bad I pulled them out.
Begin this way of thinking and acting, and your faith and purpose will make you quick to see any opportunity to better your condition. Such opportunities will speedily come, for the Supreme, working in all and working for you, will bring them before you. Do not wait for an opportunity to be all that you want to be. When an opportunity to be more than you are now is presented and you feel impelled toward it, take it.
Ooh, say that again.
Do not wait for an opportunity to be all that you want to be. When an opportunity to be more than you are now is presented and you feel impelled toward it, take it. It will be the first step toward a greater opportunity.
So that goes back to Bashard and all of those other podcasts I watch. They talk about you're not sure what to do, you don't know where to go, you're not clear about what your path is. Like everybody listening to this might be thinking, well, what's my purpose? What's my passion? Whatever you feel passionate about. Like if you get excited about something, even if it's chickens, go for it, because there's something in that thing that will guide you and lead you to the next thing. So go with what? That's pretty much what I think he just said.
And to go back, he says, hold the faith and purpose of increase during work hours, after work hours, before work hours. So it's like you fill in all the nooks and crannies with that.
Right. That's an interesting paradigm, because we've all been indoctrinated that you're not supposed to like feel enthusiastic except between 9 and 5.
And OCD is obsessive compulsive, and that's like something that should be medicated and controlled and managed.
Or worse yet, I need to grind and suffer 9 to 5 so that I can have a passion for 2 hours a night. Right. I think he's not saying either one of those.
Yeah. Begin this way of thinking and acting, and your faith and purpose will make you quick to see. Oh, wait, no, let me back up. This worker trust. Here we go. If a few thousand of its employees would enter upon this certain way, the Steel Trust would soon be in a bad plight. It would have to give its working men more opportunity or go out of business. Nobody has to work for a trust. The trust can keep men in so-called hopeless conditions only so long as they are men who are too ignorant to know of the science of getting rich or too intellectually slothful to practice it. Begin this way of thinking and acting, and your faith and purpose will make you quick to see any opportunity to better your condition. Such opportunities will speedily come, for the Supreme, working in all and working for you, will bring them before you. Do not wait for an opportunity to be all that you want to be. When an opportunity to be more than you are now is presented and you feel impelled toward it, take it. It will be the first step toward a greater opportunity. There is no such thing possible in this universe as a lack of opportunities for the man who is living the advancing life. It is inherent in the constitution of the cosmos that all things shall be for him and work together for his good, and he must certainly get rich if he acts and thinks in a certain way. So let wage-earning men and women study this book with great care and enter with confidence upon the course of action it prescribes. It will not fail.
Oh my God, it's so encouraging. Is it just me? I feel so good. I mean, maybe we should do this every day, because from one day, like last week, I forgot what we read last week. I'm going to go back and listen to what you said.
Well, we can always go through it again now that we've been through it and refine it and bring it back down, right? Go through it 3 times, right? 3 times is the magic number.
Yep. That's awesome. What a great chapter. So we got 2 more chapters?
2 more.
2 more chapters. it's great working with you. I hope this is helping you guys, whoever's listening. And see you next week, Megan. Thanks so much.
Beautiful. See ya.
All right.
That's a
Bye.
wrap for today's episode of Rich and Raw. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated.